ludzi, każdy pod nosem tę nutę nuci. Bo ja znam polityków, fałszywe obietnice. No i pomoc nie liczę, nie nakarmią mnie kiczem. Bo widzę, jak wiecie to do ulicy. Zobacz jakie jest wroga prawdziwe oblicze. Widzę, ludzie co dzień giną w okopach. Dzisiaj cenniejsza jest od życia ropa. Wojna ma błogosławieństwo kościoła obada. Tylko ten kto na to oko ma. Palimy Babilon, to jest dla moich ludzi. W poszukiwaniu gdzie jest nasz dom. Każdy pod nosem tę nutę nuci. Palimy Babilon, to jest dla moich ludzi. Każdy pod nosem tę nutę nuci. Tak jest miejsce, gdzie zabijają bez przyczyny. Tak to się dotyczy.
No one is more deserving of rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until, well, let's just say your hour has come here. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So without mystery, without snowy ashes,
każdy pod nosem tę nutę nuci. It's a good conquering over evil, yeah. We born on Babylon. This one is for my people. It's a good conquering over evil.
I thought so much of the city that I elected to establish my administration here in the citadel so thoughtfully provided by our benefactors. I've been proud to call City 17 my home. And so, whether you are here to stay or passing through on your way to parts unknown, welcome to City 17. It's safer here.
One love.
It's all I have left.
Let's get
All right, I'm moving.
together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. Hear the children crying, saying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright.
Been chosen to
Let them
relocate
have
the finest remaining urban center.
dirty
I
reminds.
thought so much of City 17.
There is one
I elected to
question
establish
I'd
my
really love to
administration
ask.
here in the citadel so thoughtfully
There a
provided
place
by our benefactors.
Oh, bless
I've been proud to call City 17 my
hurt
home.
on mankind.
And so, whether you are here to stay or passing through on your way to parts unknown, welcome to City 17.
What
It's
about
safer.
let's get together and feel alright? As it was in the beginning, one love, so shall it be in the end. Alright. Thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One more thing. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon.
Welcome.
When
Welcome
the
to City 17.
There will be
You have chosen
no
or been chosen to relocate to one of our finest remaining urban centers.
chances grow
I thought so
thin.
much of City 17
There ain't no
that I elected to
hiding
establish
place
my
from the
administration
Father of
here in
creation.
the citadel so thoughtfully provided by
One
our
love.
benefactors.
What about the
I've been
one?
proud to call City
What
17
about
my
the
home.
let's get
And so,
together
whether you are
and
here to stay
feel alright. I'm singing to mankind. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord.
Open FM.
Oh, that's the sweet, sweet sense, you know. Yeah, no. So what? Yo, finally the herbs come around. The high grade when me and hook from me get it by the pound, yeah. Sweet sense, yeah, come around. Me a take a little jar and pass it around. So finally the herbs come around. The high grade when man and hook from me stock it by the pound, yeah. When Babylon a come around, ask them where them a go search for. Ever since the earth slow down, police and road boy them in a showdown. Them a search round the compound. You know a man and a weed clown. Find a little piece of land and a plant me own ground. So tell the youth them have to set free. Too much crack and cocaine and make the world a feel you know. Enough ganja, enough spliff a bill. Only thing when you make man feel still. When me say finally the herbs come around. The high grade when me a look for me get it by the pound, yeah. When Calibut come around, a pure ganja man tune just a lick from the sound, yeah. Finally the herbs come around. The high grade when man a look for me start it by the pound, yeah. When Babylon a come around, ask them where them a go search for.
Been chosen to relocate to one of
There's
our
nothing like this sweet, sweet sensei. The first time me take a job was in elementary. Reach high school, get the herb it plenty. Like scare them dope, this water one now lenky, yeah. The stash box never empty. The $50 bag we call that half century. Me start me own herb documentary. Where me wanna call that film for 20, yeah. When me say finally the herbs come around. The high grade when me a look for me get it by the pound, yeah. Sweet sensei a come around. Me a take a little jar and pass it around. So finally the herbs come around. The high grade when man a look for me stock it by the pound, yeah. When Babylon a come around, ask them where them a go search for. Yeah. No. Yeah, no, yo, when them a gonna realize good works man a advertise. When them a gonna legalize, the farmer man a beg a liquor blind. When them a gonna realize, government them a terrorize, corporation them a capitalize. While the farmer man a beg a liquor blind, yo. Finally the herbs come around. The high grade when me a look for me get it by the pound, yeah. When Calibut come around, a pure ganja man tune just a lick from the sound, yeah. Finally the herbs come around. The high grade when man a look for me stock it by the pound, yeah. When Babylon a come around, ask them where them a go search for.
Yeah, man, you know what we smoke. I just strip a ganja and it's no joke.
Natural storytelling. To achieve our world building and storytelling goals throughout the train station, we needed a natural way to deliver dialogue without it feeling too gamey or requiring tutorials. We noticed players often approached NPCs to get a closer look, so we turned that into an opportunity for the NPCs to acknowledge the player and deliver their lines. This kept interactions low-key, which was essential since the citizens aren't exactly too cheerful or lively. The simplicity of this approach also aligned with one of Half-Life's core storytelling goals, making the narrative responsive to the player's interests. Some players want to dig into every detail, while others just want to know what to do next. giving players control over how much story they want to engage with without it blocking progress is a goal we always try to maintain in a Half-Life game. Plus, the less complicated a feature is to implement, the more of it we can include.
That's what I'm smoking, and I'm not joking. High grade. Some technical and them joking, them life provoking. High grade. Well, a bunch of me smoking, and I'm not joking. High grade.
When it came time to design the human citizens of City 17 and the world outside the city, we chose to include a variety of races, ages, and genders. This not only provided narrative context for the Combine's enslavement of all of humanity, but it was also important to us that anyone playing the game could see themselves represented in the resistance, with everyone on Earth united against the Combine. While we found a number of candidates to use as reference in creating these citizens through our daily lives and connections, we ultimately resorted to advertising and the Seattle Times classifieds to reach the desired range of faces segment and vision.
Them talking coke and them choking, them life provoking. Give me the high grade. That's what I'm smoking, and I'm not joking. Give me the high grade.
Metro cops shoving citizens. We've only walked a few feet and we're already got problems to solve. We're introducing the Metro Cop, an enemy that eventually we're going to ask players to kill, and giving you a glimpse of the world they're stepping into. It's a simple, clear moment that shows the relationships between the Metro Cops and citizens, and by extension the player. At the same time, we decided to reinforce the existence of a core physics simulation, showing the way in which NPCs can casually interact with others in the world. Seeing something like a suitcase knock into another and dislodge was pretty novel by then. These moments at the train station where we combined multiple goals were the most successful. They felt natural, like the game wasn't pausing just to teach you a lesson.
High grade. Them take the coke and them choking. But I want them promoting. Give me the herb, I'm in no afraid. Good ganja no, cause them ya rats and them not afraid. Yes, yo, me bunny from the front.
The beginning of a Half-Life game has a big job to do. We have to introduce players to a new world while teaching them how to interact with it. Players need to quickly grasp what's happening, who the key players are, what threats they face, and how they fit into it all. Above all else, it has to be as fun and interactive as possible. Nailing this takes a lot of iteration and playtesting, especially on the small moments that make up a bigger picture of the game. In this section, we'll highlight some key moments, game design problems, and a few playtests where things didn't quite go as planned.
So thoughtfully provided by our benefit.
Straight up.
I've been proud to call City 17 my home. And so, whether you are here to stay or
Physics objects. It might be hard to remember it now, but back when Half-Life 2 came out, small objects in games, like these bits of trash, were usually static. As in, they didn't really move, or if they did, it was in a very simple way. If you were lucky, they might break apart into some sprites if you hit them. One of the goals for this initial train station section was to really make it clear to players that these kinds of things were properly, physically, actually being simulated in Half-Life 2. They could be picked up, dropped, thrown, broken, moved by other forces, you name it. Here we're starting with just a small thing, showing that trash is being blown by the arrival of the train, or, more specifically, an invisible volume that's triggered by the player leaving the train.
been chosen to relocate to one
Never forget where you start. Straight out. Time we set out on a new direction.
in the city for all. Provided by
Traveled so far and still there's no
Sweeping Vortigons. Another key moment of storytelling and another nod to the physics. Here we're showing how Vortigons fit into this new world, which is a big shift from the Half-Life 1 was ending. Like so many moments in train stations, Sweeping Vortigon came from a constant hunt for ways to show characters interacting naturally with the physics. Why just tell players Vortigons are friendly now when you can show one casually sweeping the floor and knocking around some simulated objects? Nothing signals, hey, don't shoot me this time around, like someone willing to tie you up.
Never forget where you start. Straight out. We let our children down, we let them take the blame.
Equality and justice for all.
We let our parents down, we pass the shame.
equality and justice for all.
Every heart should be full, no one should be hungry.
Equality and justice for all.
So why you starvation rampant in our society?
my administration here in the citadel so far.
Oh yes, here I am, still around, still alive, still I make music, them still can't refuse it. Not even no people.
You are here to stay.
Stepping out and can know me more than ready. There is a lot to do, I've got to keep it steady. To a rounding up another passport done already. None of them out there, none of them can disturb me ready. Long time I've been around, knowing that those empty barrel are gonna make the most sound. Me see that them can't hold me down. Even though the burden is heavy, it's more than 10 pounds. I keep going and there ain't no stopping. I went back mine and them friends keep yapping. I keep going and there ain't no stopping.
Welcome.
Because the righteous won't be forgotten. I'm still burning the fire can't out. One still a one, me still a travel the road. See them a perplex, reflex, so them run off them out. Man a vessel, man a warrior, man a go break them barrier. Living frustration, just love me about. Life too short, I'll be switching to another mode. Writing this song about believe and know. And through the darkest of days, now we're traveling this deep.
Shipping a game always teaches us a lot. We finally get to find out which choices we made were good ones, and which were ones we shouldn't do. So after Half-Life 1, we sat down and started thinking about what kind of sequel we could build. We had all kinds of player feedback. From it, we tried to build a master list of things that Half-Life 2 could focus on. We didn't try to design a simplistic player experience. Instead, we were more useful to approach the customer in a technological way. Black makes a security guard storytelling.
Creating a sense of immersion was a core principle in our approach to Half-Life 1's storytelling, and it led us to the self-imposed constraints of never, or at least very rarely, taking control away from the player and of keeping the player to have their heart silent. These limitations made storytelling more challenging at times, but we felt it was important to stay with them for Half-Life 2. Our hope was that by maintaining these principles, we push ourselves to explore deeper, more interactive storytelling.
I keep going and there ain't no stopping. I went back mine and them friends keep yapping. I keep going and there ain't no stopping. Because the righteous won't be forgotten.
Słuchasz Open FM.
Welcome to 717. You have chosen or been chosen to relocate to one of our...
We still a fight Babylon. Well, many miles away and them still not move yet. What goes up must come down, so them still a fret. It's all about faith and not intellect. Your love is logical more than any Isaac. From your heart to your eyes, from your eyes to your brain. Believing a better life and not turn up in vain. Can you feel this weird joy without feeling no pain? Your love is extra biblical, just remember faith game. One day I
But as our technology improved, we saw an opportunity to combine abstractions. The increased visual fidelity of character models, combined with improvements in animation, made us believe we could focus on creating individual characters people would actually care. We allowed ourselves to write real dialogue and have characters deliver it in a way that felt realistic enough for players to not think about them as pawns in a video game. And hopefully, that's how I know. In 2001, a couple of years into development, we were energized by Japan's studios, directed by an animator that blew us away with its reliance on characters and connection with players, giving us
Bring food on the table, what a tribulation. Sufferation, Babylon promotes every day. Get so used, we will find a better way. Babylon no like me, so me never like them. Judgment in my face, it my best friend. I'm gonna be true to myself until the end. I'm gonna be true to Father John until the end. So, press the trigger if you feel the flow.
Can't take too long or they'll get suspicious. I'm way behind.
Press the trigger if you feel the flow.
Yes,
if you like it, pull it up and go
I'm in the middle of a critical test. Sorry, Doc, but look who's here. Great Scott! Gordon Freeman!
Good
morning. Yeah, you and me both, Doc. He was about to board the express to Nova Prospect. Well, Barney, what do you intend? I'm thinking.
Yes, so we will find a better way. I support Che Guevara and the revolution.
As long as he stays away from checkpoints, we should be okay. Listen, I gotta go, Doc. We're taking enough chances as it is. Very well. And, Gordon?
Yeah, the conquering lion.
Okay, Gordon. You're gonna have to make your own way to Dr. Kleiner's lab. Oh, man, that's what I was afraid of.
Well then,
There's no time to waste here, Gordon.
Sufferation, Babylon promotes every day. Get so youth, we will find a better way.
Get going, Gordon.
Blocking tutorials. At times, we need to be certain the player has learned something, and the standard method, at least in game development, not in life, is to trap them behind a gate of some kind, where the player must demonstrate their knowledge to be able to continue. We try to disguise these gates as something natural, so it doesn't feel like the game has come to a halt. Of course, time, resources, or the environmental context itself can make that switch. In this case, we needed to teach the players how to move objects, so a simple stacking process seemed like the best solution. We tested more complex designs, but they ended up being less effective at teaching the actual thing we needed the player to learn.
Fire, see that fire, watch that fire, see it burn.
Blocking tutorials too. There are two failures of note in this tutorial. First, players can break it by tossing all the boxes out the window, which is obviously not great. This leaves them stuck and unable to continue, which we consider a game-stopping consequence. A clean solution would have been to tweak the window or crate sizes so that the player could fit through but not the crates. The problem was that we really only caught this problem late in development. Making even a simple change like that can have unpredictable game-breaking consequences. Also, this issue was purely theoretical. We've never actually seen players do it. Our playtest of the design space has gone smoothly, with players learning what they need and moving on. So changing the room's design this late in the game could have disrupted that success in ways that we couldn't foresee. So we opted for a more conservative fix rather than something elegant. If you're curious, I'd like to unlock the window and see what happens. Blocking Tutorials 3. The second failure in this tutorial space is a case of misteaching, where we accidentally teach the players something we didn't intend. This can be hard to avoid without extensive playtesting, since the game is always teaching, even when it's not by design. We cover a more extreme example of this later in Train Station. Some cases of misteaching are critical to fix, like if a player learns the wrong way to use a weapon or interact with a common element of the game. But this one was more subtle. While teaching players to move objects, we also taught them to stack physics objects to escape a space. Normally that's fine, except we don't deploy that puzzle later in the game, and teaching something irrelevant just clutters up their mental toolkit and makes it harder to readily keep useful things in mind later on. Worse, stacking objects to escape the play space become a problem later on, something we had to actively prevent in multiple areas. With so many physics-based objects in the game, blocking this behavior without putting ceilings everywhere wasn't really an option. In the end, we hoped players wouldn't overthink this early lesson, and when playtests showed players getting stuck later on, we made sure not to remind them of it.
Fall damage. Teaching players how to do things is an essential thing for the game to do. But for them to make confident decisions, they also need to understand the more subtle rules. This small moment covers two of those. First, it shows how far the player can fall without taking damage. Second, it introduces a bit of the game's vocabulary, how the game will communicate with them. Players often worry about taking fall damage, but they also worry about taking a step that they can't take back. So here, a welcoming crate to land on signals that dropping down is safe and it's the way forward. And when the crate breaks, it reinforces the physics simulation, and is likely the first time players will see that larger objects can be broken apart.
Ciężkie piżmo, słodkie szepty prosto z serca kwiatu. Mówię tobie, że moje serce jest pełne miłości. Moje serce nie chowa urazy. W swojej głowie zaprowadzam pokój. Ciepłem ciało chcę ciebie obdarzyć. Bo moje serce jest pełne miłości. A moje serce nie chowa urazy. W swojej głowie zaprowadzam pokój. Ja włożę sukienkę, tę przenajlepszą i makijażem ubiorę oczy, a w ciało wetrę słodkie
Pick up that
balsamy.
can. Contextualizing tutorials, creating a story scenario in which they happen, lets us do more than just stop the game to teach players something. We get to add narrative value to the moment. Here, teaching the player how to throw objects is combined with a narrative setup that gives them a choice in how to respond. After watching the Metro cops casually abuse citizens, it felt right to put the player in a similar position next. If they had opinions on how the citizens should have reacted, now they get to express them. Playtesting showed most players either complied or refused the request to pick up the can, but some tried to avoid the confrontation entirely. Others would comply initially, then retaliate after feeling humiliated. By keeping the moment relatively constrained in both terms of player actions and the space itself, we could generally react appropriately to whatever choice they made.
Reggae Hits.
Huh?
loving all night, yeah. When she get it, she'll be alright. Well, now she calls me on the phone and says she's home alone, and she wants me to come over to make her house a home. Well, I gave it to her once, and I like how she responds. Well, now I'm in trouble, yeah. She says she wants my loving all night.
Playtesting. Playtesting is a core part of helping make games. We can never fully predict how players will respond or what they'll take away from what we built. So we test to learn and hopefully learn. During the playtest, we don't guide or talk to the player, even if they're stuck, as it's extremely unlikely that they'll be sitting there next to the player once the game ships. Our goal is for testers to forget that they're playtesting altogether and play as if they're at home. Any interruptions risk skewing the data, so we only step in if there's a bug that's blocking progress, or more rarely, if their behavior is so confusing that we need to understand everything.
Running it down the line, miss I'm moving one time. Says she wants my loving all night. Okay. When she get it, she'll be alright all night. Says she wants my loving all night. Indeed. When she get it, she'll be alright. She called me on the I-95. On that takes a long shot, wonder which car me drive. I had to listen album now when she want me live. Tell me she want me to come knock her out till she can revive. So I saw me planet and the stars align. Tell me she want me now.
Early in a half-life game, one of our goals is to make promises to the player, giving them a sense of what to expect later on. From movies to TV shows and books, all great entertainment does this in some way, and video games are no different. The promises in a half-life game can take different forms. Some are simple, like offering just a glimpse of something intriguing. Others are more layered, like the interactions of Metro Cops. By putting the player in a powerless position against them, we set the stage for that future moment when they can finally get to retaliate.
Maniac, telling me that a compliment are natural habitat. I said it seemed like she deaf or she blind. Walk come stepping on me life when time she deaf or behind. Want me play a rhythm till the tip war rewind. And she now watch the time, and she just now resign till she see the sunshine. Okay, is it for the one ya? Want a mom to nothing less than 170 pound. Keep a winding up, me a big one, hermans. Yeah, yeah.